Evening folks, welcome to another Friday Waffle. Now for the first time this is actually being recorded on Wednesday for reasons which I'm about to tell you. Excuse me, just clear my throat. Yes, I'm by the time you're watching this I should hopefully be in the lovely city of Dublin. Why Dublin, I hear you ask? Why not? Never been to Ireland. Technically that's not true. I think I was in Southern Ireland when I was about 3-4 years old. So I don't remember too much about it. So going with my girlfriend, we fly from Edinburgh. Well, by the time you're watching this, presumably you're watching this on Friday. We flew out yesterday morning, which would be Thursday morning. And the plan is to get back on Saturday night. So looking forward to that. Just a nice wee break. Not really got any plans as such, just see how it goes. So anyway, listen, yeah, just got to say a massive thank you to I put out a video about a month ago showcasing in fact showcasing sounds rather smug and arrogant. It's not showcasing at all, showing a demo written for the Commodore 64 by some extremely talented people. This demo is easily available. You can download it, you can watch it yourself. But it's amazing how many people don't actually know these things, hence the reason I like to kind of share it. And let's just say it done sort of rather well. It proved to be rather popular. In fact, it's been the biggest video that I've put out as far as views go. So I put out another one what day? I put out another one last week actually. Why am I talking about this? Yeah. Now I've remembered. I put out another one last week. Now, apart from views, which are utterly irrelevant, though they do help to get you a couple of quid, which is always nice when you've got kind of outlays like myself for YouTube. But the nice kind of side of that, the reason I keep looking down is because I'm always looking at the camera, and then I look down to look at the video, and then I look back up at the camera. I've managed to pick up about, I don't know, 120 subscribers in the last month, which is really nice. Now, as I've said before, you know, subscribers is not, it doesn't really, it doesn't mean anything. All it does, it's an indicator, it's a yardstick, if you want, of kind of, you know, people that are looking at your channel. But then, you know, you look at the views that you get in a video, and they're tiny. You know, I get probably 10% off my, in fact, I'm talking complete bollocks. Let me think, 10% off, that would be 400. Yeah, I get probably 5% off the number of subscribers I get actually watch my content. And whilst you're probably saying, well, that is completely pish, look at any other channel. You look at a video, a channel that's got 40 million subscribers, I guarantee they'll probably have had less than 5% of their subscriber base actually watching these things. But it's nice, so I just wanted to say a massive thank you to anyone that's new to the channel, that's just joined for the first time. Hopefully you're going to see stuff that you want to see. If you look at my my playlist, I've got various playlists. I mean, I've made over, I think it's 2.2 million, I was going to say 2.2 thousand videos, most of which are complete garbage, but there are one or two gems in there. You can decide. But yeah, I'm probably, out of any other channel that actually makes content, well, you wouldn't be a channel unless you made content, but you know what I mean, sort of based around classic video games, I would probably stick my neck out and say I am the most varied. I've tried so many different things. Some have worked, some have not worked. Some I'm really proud of, some I'm embarrassed about. But you know what? It's you know, it's I do it to try and stop me from getting bored, and second, I like to try and kind of mix it up a wee bit for people. So you know, if you've subscribed to my channel on the basis of watching that demo, I am kind of heavily biased towards the Commodore 64 and then probably the Commodore Amiga, because the C64 was the machine that I had when I was growing up, and then I got an Amiga. I never had a Spectrum until about 10 years ago. So it is kind of biased towards, it's not biased, but it is heavily weighted. There's more kind of videos for the C64. But yeah, thanks very much to everybody that's taking time to A, watch my videos, and B, subscribing. You know, it's what makes this worth it. And there, yeah, now it's going to get rather not so nice. A friend of mine, who is, I only know this guy through YouTube. He has been a big supporter of my channel for quite a long time. He's been extremely positive. He's been very, very encouraging to me with my channel. There's been times where I've kind of thought about knocking it on the head, and he's like, well, no, you do this, do that, you know, you entertain, whatever. And anyway, I happened to stumble over a video that he was in. I don't know what day it was, Tuesday or something, and I thought, oh, he's doing a live stream. And I didn't know the guy, my friend was sitting on the right, you know, facing the screen, and this other guy was on the left. And the other guy was Australian, which is really nothing to do with anything. But every time, he was shouting a lot of the time. He was raising his voice. He was shouting a lot. And then he would ask my friend a question, and as soon as my mate went to answer the question, this guy would just talk over him and not even give him a chance to answer. And I watched it for about 10-15 minutes, and this guy, the guy on the left, was just so fucking obnoxious that I put a post up saying, you know, go and just be a wee bit more polite. You're asking this guy, you've invited him onto your channel, you're asking him a question, and the minute he starts answering, you're fucking interrupting him. I just thought, what an absolute wanker you are. Really, I was really angry. So I tuned out. And anyway, said friend even. I don't know where that right said Fred thing came in there. Said friend, I was actually recording a video with him last night for his channel, and I just said, what the fuck was that all about? And what he explained to me was he has just recently got into a new kind of, he's got a new channel, he's had a YouTube channel for quite a number of years, a very successful YouTube channel, does really well, but he's opened up a secondary channel based on a new hobby of his. And this irritating guy, I'm not going to call him Australian because that's offensive to Australians, he was just a fucking knob. He actually is into the hobby that my friend's into, and he contacted my friend and says, oh, do you want to come onto my channel? And my friend was quite kind of rightly, he was quite chuffed that he was getting invited on this channel, because this channel is, I hate the word big, it's got a lot of subscribers, and I think my friend was genuinely quite taken aback that he was getting invited onto the channel. And he said, yeah, for the first, it went on for about 3 hours. For the first couple of hours, or hour and a half, whatever, this guy, and there was other people dipping in and out, they were just constantly interrupting him, talking over him. Then they started going down a road, which I mean, the 10 minutes or so that I watched, there was one bit where the guy was said to him, have you got a girlfriend? Have you got a wife? You got a partner? And he went, yeah, I've got a partner. Where does she come from? Oh, Scotland. Dumper, fucking dumper. People from the West are absolute arseholes. Go and go to Thailand, get yourself a girlfriend. And he was being really, really disrespectful and nasty. And then he started on about, he said to my friend, you know, your parents, blah, 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 blah. And my friend says, well, my dad, my father actually passed away, 10 years ago, whatever it was. And this guy's like, oh, what did he die? What did he die for? And he went, well, cancer. Oh, he died of cancer. Oh, bloody hell. And he was just, I thought, you're a fucking knob, mate. And if I'd been there, I would have knocked the guy out, honestly. I'm not a violent person. But he was an obnoxious cunt. There's no two ways to say it. So anyway, my friend explained to me that this went on for about an hour and a half, and he said he was determined that he wasn't going to get up and just walk away. He thought, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to sit this out. I couldn't have done it, if I'm being honest. And then about midway through the video, the guy started to invite other people on, and they basically turned on my friend. They started being very, very nasty to him. For whatever reason, I have no idea. Bear in mind, this guy invited him onto his channel, and they turned on him. Now, apparently, this guy has got a history of having guests on his channel, and there's been people who have just left midway because of the way this guy is. And so anyway, yeah, it started off, cutting him off, interrupting him constantly. Midway through the video, him and his other guests kind of started slagging him and, just being really, really nasty. And then he said that for the last hour, it was like a switch was switched, and they became his best friend. They were saying, oh, you're one hell of a guy, blah, blah, blah. And they were being like really, really nice to him. And he thought, what the fuck is going on here? So that was that. And then, lo and behold, I think the day later, he happened to find a link or something. This guy, the Australian guy, and somebody else made a video, and they were basically ridiculing my friend, making a fool of him, and he wasn't even there to defend himself. Now, I just don't fucking get it. Is this what this guy does? He slags people, and people love it. I mean, when I made the comment about, I'm being rude, and that somebody commented and says, oh yeah, welcome to this guy's channel type thing. In other words, he's always got a history of just being a complete cunt. I don't get it. And one thing that really, really saddened me, apart from being an absolute cunt, the thing that really saddened me was the amount of money that this guy was getting given through like super chats, so that because he's quite a big channel, he was getting a lot of comments, and obviously if you want to get your comment read out, then you have to pay money. And there was some of the comments, the super chats were like 12, 13 quid, £2, £5, or it was dollars, whatever it was. And I just thought, you know what? If this is the way YouTube's going to go, then I'm out. I am out. I will close my channel down tomorrow, and I won't come back, because it's a sad indictment of the whole thing that we do. If you've got some complete obnoxious cunt who is not even obnoxious, people can be obnoxious but not be nasty. This guy was just straight up nasty, horrible, really, really vile, a vile individual. And he is apparently making some sort of semi-successful career on the back of YouTube, because people give him money. So people are giving this complete dickhead money to be nasty to people. I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. So I'm not going to name the video. It's really it's completely inconsequential. I don't want people going and looking, because that's just going to give them more kind of like publicity, whatever it is. So anyway, that's kind of ran over. Now, what did I do? I put out a video called "What's in the Box," and it was my friend down the rabbit hole, Kevin. He did a video, and I used his intro called "What's in the Box." It's based on a movie trailer. Is it Seven, something like that, or 12 Monkeys? I can't remember. It's based on a film with Brad Pitt, I think it is. Anyway, I put out this video a couple of days. In fact, tonight it went out, and when I was going through all the. If you don't know what the video is, I've got a number of boxes under my bed that are just chock-a-block with retro gaming stuff, different things, random stuff, cables, computers, instruction manuals, cassette inlays, just a complete random thing. So for like shits and giggles, I thought, why don't I dig out one of these cases and just let's see what's in the box. That is the sort of the basis of the video. And there was one bit where I pulled out an adapter thing, or an interface I should say, for the Spectrum, and I was looking at it, and there was a bit at the top that was clearly, well, I thought it was for like a cartridge. Now instead of saying cartridge, which is what I meant, I said not an EverDrive, a micro drive, and some fucking arsehole has commented saying, "Are you stupid? It's clearly not a micro drive, it's a cartridge." And then he put Jesus Christ at the end of it. And you know, I've always said to people, don't let these people get you down. But I just responded. I just sort of said, I'm not an expert. I've never proclaimed to be an expert about stuff. I happen to notice, in fact, you always notice that these fucking wankers, these arseholes on YouTube, they never make content themselves. Never do anything like that at all. They're hidden. They're underneath the they don't want to put their head above the, above the parapet. They don't want to be subjected to scrutinization. Scrutinization, is that a word? They don't want to be scrutinized. They don't want anyone to comment in videos saying you're a complete cunt. But yeah, this guy made that comment, and I know it's just a flippant throwaway comment, but I just said, this says, if you ever do decide to make content, my friend, then, this is the kind of shit that you're going to put up with, rude comments like that. Way to go, mate, and leave it at that. But it just staggers me how nasty people can be. Not the comment about my video, but about my mate's videos. And here's the thing, and I've said that all along. People who there are sort of two types of YouTubers. There are people who make it a full-time living. They make a lot of money. They get a lot of income on it. Then there's people like me and my mate, and plenty of other mates. Lots of other mates that watch my channel. We have channels, and most of them don't make any money. I make about £8 a month through Google. There you go, AdSense. That's what I make. It's nothing much. So I'm doing this for free, and I think these people that come on and just make nasty comments, they've got no self-awareness. They don't understand how it can hurt somebody. What they completely miss is that the very content they're watching is getting put out with people like me, like my friends, who do it just for fun. We don't charge anybody any money. I mean, I've got another mate, Steve, he's still got a channel, but he's not been doing it a long time. Over the years, he's had a few real nasty comments, and you know what? It's one of these things. You'll never change it. There are nasty cunts in the world. They're the kind of people that would scratch your car and walk away. They would steal from you. They don't give a shit about anybody. But you know what? I would always love to see any of these people that are nasty. You come round to my door and tell me to my face. You know what I mean? They're complete wankers. They're cowards. And I really shouldn't get on my high horse about that. But I was brought up to be a polite person. And and I always try and conduct myself in that way. I try and be polite, I try and be well mannered, I try and be friendly to people, and it really gets my back up and makes me sad when I meet people like that in real life, or through YouTube as well. Just a bunch of complete dickheads. Right, anyway, listen, there's not, I know we've only been going 20 minutes, there's only, I did ask for kind of questions, I've only really got two, no in fact, no, I've only got one question, so it's going to be an extremely short, Friday Waffle, and it's by one of my friends, a long time friend and supporter of my channel. It's Colin Jones. He's known as Ponder on YouTube. My question: an Ubisoft executive has recently stated that gamers need to get comfortable not owning games. Now, I'm pretty sure I know how you feel about this, but I'd like to hear you express your disgust in your unique fashion. I think that's been in the cards for a long time, Colin. It doesn't surprise me at all. Here's the thing. I mean, we were lucky enough to be part of this thing when it first kicked off. It was all cartridges and cassettes and discs and CDs, stuff like that, and then obviously things like for the Switch, little memory cards and what have you. But since we've become more advanced, if you want to call it that, online games. I mean, I bought in fact, I didn't buy it. I got it with when I bought my Switch. I bought a Switch second hand a while back. One of the games I was given was brand new. I'd never opened it, and I gave it to a guy at work. And what I didn't realise was it was just a box with a code. There was no game, there was no cartridge, nothing. A download code. So we're now at that stage where you buy a game, you've got to download the game. You buy a game. There has been games in the past that have come out, and they quite literally, it's just a setup which then downloads the main game. Or you can get a game, and as soon as you put it in, it'll install, and then it'll download like a 60 gig update. That's the world we live in now. And obviously you've got things like, and it's not even just games. We've been doing that for years with movies. You don't own movies really anymore. You watch them in Netflix, you watch them in Paramount, you watch them in all these kind of streaming services. It's the same with music now. You just stream it. You go into Spotify, you go into can't say the word obviously, and you'll just say play whatever it is. And I read an interesting article. In fact, it was on the radio. I heard it, and they were saying that I can't remember who it was, but they're actually now trying to encourage people to start buying films again, whether it's on DVD. Don't think they're going to encourage people to buy VHS tapes somehow, but start buying Blu-rays, whatever it is, because Netflix or whatever it was, one of these paid subscription streaming services, in fact it might have been Disney actually, they've announced that they're going to take certain films away, and you may never get to watch them again. So if you're only ever watching films through these things, it could get to a point. We'll just say Star Wars, for example. You can go and watch Star Wars on Disney, because I think they own the Star Wars franchise now, and then one day you might put your Fire Stick on, go to Disney, let's watch can't find Star Wars, where the hell is it? So we've now reached the stage where it could be that films, music, games, if they disappear off these higher services, you're not going to be able to play them. So games really are kind of going the same way as films. You can still buy, to be fair, you can still buy films in DVD, Blu-ray, But you know, I think we are going to get to a stage where there must be a lot of films that come out and don't get released. In fact, maybe my mate Dale Boy can tell me, is that a thing, Dale? There films that are released onto these streaming services and they never get a physical release. Interested to know, actually. But yeah, they're now trying to. There's been a shift in people's spending habits. Consumers are now deciding, wait a minute, I don't want to sign up to Netflix. I want to keep my copy of Star Wars. I'm going to go and buy it. So yeah, I mean, I've back in the good old days with DVDs, I was a member of a what was it called again? Love Film, I think it was called. And you had a membership, a subscription again, funnily enough, and you hired DVDs. It was kind of like an old-fashioned Netflix. You paid a subscription, but instead of streaming it, you hired the disc. They would send the disc to you in the post. I would copy it and send it back. So I built up, I don't know how many I've got, a good several hundred number of DVDs, films that I've got. And when I moved house about 5 years ago, I was kind of tempted to throw all the discs into the bucket. And you know what? I never, and I'm bloody glad I didn't, because, you know, the way things are going, it could get to a point where you want to watch a film. I mean, maybe Star Wars is a bad example because, you know, they would be off their head to get rid of that. But there may be some obscure film that is hard to get, and then you go to Streamflix, you go to Netflix, whatever, and you can't find it. So people are now going back and buying DVDs because they want to retain the option to watch something whenever. And that is the same for me with games. I've got Game Pass, which, what is it? Is it a tenner a month, 11 quid, whatever it is? And it's good, you know, because you get you get a lot of brand new games that you can play, get bored of, download another one. You know, it's only costing you £10. So I mean, it is a wonderful thing. But I still like the idea of owning games, and you know, that's why I don't think we're really. I think that in a couple of generations' time, when collectors are no longer here, you're not going to see people with big collection of PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6 consoles, because chances are you'll not be able to have any games for it because the games will not physically be released. So what do I think of that, Colin? For me, it's not for me. The thing is, they're obviously, there's a massive amount of people, you know, this kind of not millennials, what are they called again? Is it Z generation? Generation Z, I think they might be called. Kids that have been born after the year 2000, or is it year 2010? I think it is actually. That generation will probably not have any nostalgia for games. They will probably not be able to buy games. They'll not be able to buy CDs. They'll not be able to buy vinyl, whatever, films. It'll all be streaming. So yeah, it's not for me. You know, thankfully by the time that becomes a common thing, I won't be here. But that's why, you know, I've got a lovely selection of games and what have you there. You know, I like the fact that I mean, if I didn't have the ability to play all these old games, you wouldn't be watching this video because I would not have a channel. The thing about having them either digitally, you know, ROMs or physical copies, it means I can just dive in. If I decide I quite fancy playing Space Invaders in the 2600, I've got it over there, or I can fire it up in an emulator. You're not going to be able to do that with these when Ubisoft get their way. You know, I think it's a fucking arrogant thing to say though. Gamers need to get comfortable not owning games. There again, maybe I'm wrong saying that. Maybe this guy knows the way the industry is going to go, and let's be honest, it is already going that way. So yeah, that's as Forrest Gump said, Colin. That's all I've got to say about that. So right, listen, I'm gonna get going. I'll try and waffle for the next 30 seconds, just so you've got 30 minutes of this. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be away until Saturday night. All going well, I will be back Saturday night. In fact, no, I won't. I'll be coming back Sunday morning. All going well, I will be putting out the usual Sunday live stream. I think we've just about finished with the Amiga arcade conversions, so I'll come up with something fresh. So that should hopefully be 7 o'clock until 9 on Sunday. So I just really want to say again a massive thank you to all the new subscribers, all the loyal people that watch my channel. It is appreciated, it really is. Thanks for all the comments and all the bollocks, everything else that goes along with it. Have an excellent weekend, folks, and all going well, I will see you on Sunday. Until next time, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching.